Kwekwe, welcome to the October MPI Breaks. I am joining you from the 2025 Prix Prestige Awards Gala as we get ready to celebrate this year's Royals. New picture. As we gather at the beautiful Infinity Convention Center, we acknowledge that we are on the unceded and unsurrendered lands of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe people, a nation that has cared for and stewarded for these lands since time immemorial. As we recognize the excellence within our chapter, we do so with the deepest gratitude for the people who allow us to live, play, enjoy, and celebrate on these lands. Miigwech. Miigwech for joining this month's discussion with David Grégoire, Director of Operations and member of the Director General Committee at Moisson Outaouais. Before we get into our discussion, here's a few things MPI has coming.
Hi, Courtney here, VP of Education. Just to remind you to be at the education event coming up November 26th at the Metcalf Hotel. Don't miss it. ABCs of RFPs.
Hi, I'm Emily McKay, your Director of Member Events. Make sure to check out on November 27th our Gingerbread Social at the Chateau Cartier. See you there.
I'm joined by David Grégoire, directeur des opérations et membre du comité de gestion qui occupe la poste de la direction générale chez Moisson Outaouais. Bonjour David, ça va bien?
Oui, merci, vous.
Ouais, ça va très bien, merci. So David and I discussed that we will be having this conversation in English, but I encourage all of my fellow Francophones to reach out to Moisson Outaouais to discuss how you can support, and they'll happily support the Anglophones too. So David, is the website the best way for people to reach out?
Yes, always. For our info box, it's pretty much the best way to reach out.
Okay, perfect. So there you go. You heard it here. All right, let's dive in. I won't hold you too long. So it's great to have you, and I'll start by asking, how would you describe the current situation around food accessibility in the Outaouais region, and what trends are you seeing?
Well, food accessibility in the region remain significantly challenging for us. Like over the past few years, we've seen a steady increase in the numbers of families, seniors, individuals like turning to food banks, community organization for support. Our network are now facing a monthly demand of over 25,000 people per month. Rising cost of living, inflation, housing pressure have amplified that demand, of course. That being said, we did have the ability to increase our supply by a little bit over 500% in the last 10 years, going from 400 to 2 million kilos per year in recovery. Most part coming from our food recovery program. We recover food from about 30 local grocery stores 3 times a week. That represent well over 50% of our annual recovery. But at the same time, we're noticing a positive trend on growing interest in sustainable food system, stronger partnership with local producers, farmers, and a greater community awareness about the food insecurity. This shift opens new opportunities to improve both quality and accessibility of food in our region. But at the same time, our facilities is at a breaking point where we don't have enough room or sort room to recover more food. So we're in a big transition right now and going with a big infrastructure project next spring.
Oh, wonderful. I mean, yeah, it is quite impressive how with Moisson Outaouais you support the region of Outaouais and you support so many different organizations that then can have the impact in their community, which they're aware of it. It's quite the impact. And I wonder from your perspective, how can organizations in the meeting and event industry help improve the food accessibility side, whether through sourcing, partnerships, food use at events, like the accessibility side of the food, yeah.
Yeah, well, just to talk about it is just the big step forward, I think. Like organization and meeting event with the industry can play easily a powerful role by just rethinking how food can be secured and managed. For example, like sourcing, like choosing local suppliers, farmers, helping strengthen our regional economy, and at the same time having an impact on environmental issues. Working with directly with food banks, community organization, like Moisson Outaouais, helps to secure food and make sure that it's directed to the right needs. The foods event and planning is another opportunity to minimize food waste. Implementing donation program after event can make a tangible difference.
So I mean, and it is interesting because it's you're bringing up things like access and who we work with and who we support and the impacts that has on the industry. And I wonder, when thinking of the people you're seeing as well, what are some of the barriers that you think are, or that you see, are preventing people from accessing food or food supports? And how do you see partners like the meeting and event industry helping to break down those barriers?
Yeah, well, I strongly believe like the main barrier includes like financial insecurity, transportation limitation, social stigma is one of them as well, and there's also the lack of awareness of available resources. Like for many event, uh, even in the food support exists, even if the food support exists, like reaching them. Most of the people feel uncomfortable accessing them, and it's not always the easy way. Um, Maybe like we can help by raising awareness through campaigns, conference, event, highlight the food insecurity issues, supporting with logistics. Also could be, for instance, by offering transportation solution, contributing to community delivery initiative could be very beneficial. Um, and, and even if it's our task to do for us, because most of our donation comes from recovery program, like normalizing food donation and distribution could reduce stigma in a way. So it would be more fair, and the offer would be fair across the board in our region. And when the industry act as both like conveners and collaborators, it helps to create strong connection in communities, businesses, and social organization, making food more accessible for everyone.
Absolutely. And I think one of the things we discuss at the Prix Prestige Awards Gala that's currently taking place is the power of our industry and how we as an industry touch so many different sectors and have the power to impact. So this is a wonderful call to action to our planners, suppliers, to start having those conversations at your events, and let's help break the stigma and make people aware that asking for help does not mean that they've lost anything. They're just at a time where they just need a little bit of extra help, and those supports are there. But also, let's do our part to support places like Masao Tawa who are giving access to that food. So thank you very much for your time. I am going to head back to the MPI Ottawa chapter Prix Prestige Ottawa, or Gala, sorry, mais je te souhaite une très belle journée et merci beaucoup pour ton temps, David.
My pleasure. Thank you very much, Bruce. Thanks for everything. Bye.
Miigwech, thank you for joining this month's breaks. And until next month, we're K's for Knowledge. Bamapi.